Yo, welcome back. Welcome back. How'd you like?
Yo, what an intro.
Right? I try, man. I try. Yeah, I like the intro too. I was like, yeah, I like this. I like this. I'll play
Yeah, fire intro. I like
it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
it.
What's your rating for the intro?
I'm still thinking. Oh, man, I really like the last one, but that one's pretty dope. So,
What did I do for?
and it had visuals, so 9 out of 10.
That's high.
9 out of 10. Yeah.
That's high. That's why. Yeah, I like that one. All right. Yeah, we're back. Sing Zone Podcast. I'm your host, Zone FanFic, here with another. I don't know why my name is Sync Zone when it should be Zone Fanfic. Let me change that real quick. That's a whoopsie. Can I change that though? I can't.
There you go. Yeah,
Welcome
you're all good.
back. Welcome back to the Sing Zone Podcast. I'm your host, Zone Fanfic, here with your host, Breezy, and we're here to deliver you guys today some good stuff.
Yeah, today we were thinking about talking about some comics. I know some comics like going more into like DC, Marvel, superheroes. I want to start off by talking about Invincible. Like Invincible, season 1 is pretty good. It just not too long ago finished off with its season 2, and I've pretty much gotten all caught up with what's been going on with that. I thought that season 1 was pretty good. Like I know Invincible is based off of the comic Invincible, but like my first exposure to it was through the show, and I've actually looked at some of the stuff in the comic. Now the show shocked me at first with just like how brutal some of the stuff in the show is,
Yeah.
for real. But like when like Omni Man, like when he killed the Guardians of the Globe, I was just like, oh, okay.
Man,
Okay.
he's a menace.
Yeah, like and then like even me like going back and looking into the comics like I was talking about earlier, like it's even more brutal in the comic. It's brutal in the show. There's more brutal in the comics, and that shocked me. So I was just like, okay, okay, but I like the show. It's something different. Like I said, like even with like the Guardians of the Globe, like it happened so fast. Things were just kind of going like willy nilly, and then he just started murking them out of nowhere. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Then he goes home, and he's got his son, and he's got Mark, and he's got Debbie, and he just acts like everything's all cool, and like Cecil doesn't even know what happened to the Guardians. It's just like, oh man. But there's a lot in season 1 I can talk about. What did you think of like some of the things, or what are some big things that happened in season 1 if you've seen them that stood out to you?
Yo, season 1 was ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Just starting off with the first few episodes, it starts you off with Omni Man slaughtering his entire team. You slaughter your entire team. Okay, I thought you were supposed to be a superhero, right? And of course, this I think I'd have to agree with you when it pertains to only seeing like the getting the first experience from the actual anime. But yeah, technically it's a cartoon. I'm not gonna argue some I'm not gonna argue the little things here. Basically, like, yeah, we don't find out like what his actual intentions are until like episodes later. And so I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, we're investigating, and then he starts training his son, and his son finds out, and then I'm like, yo, okay, first off, just the amount of like slaughter within the actual like season 1 is ridiculous. Like the amount of effort like he actually put in to killing them was like it was like blowing a feather. Really, that's the level of like how he of depth that he actually of strength he actually used, and you don't find that out until later on, when he's like using Mark's face as a pole to split the entire train, you know, of people and throwing them through like buildings and stuff. He does not care. This man does not care. And it took the I think his new son, season 2, is called Mark 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name is Mark. His name is Mark 2, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
It didn't take. So it took him thinking about how to protect them. Like it's just he's just like the man's ass backwards, right?
Yeah, like that whole situation was messed up because he went and he had that child after he left Earth at the end of season 1, and then he had it like with this alien bug lady. And I remember like Mark was upset when he found that out. Like, oh man, poor Mark. Like, Invincible is the right title because like this man Mark, like the thing I get out of this is just endurance, like just physical and emotional endurance for this man. Like he finds out like his father, after figuring out, wanting to actually take over the earth, he just had that revelation about his father. Then he finds out that his father left and had a child with like this other alien lady. And then like later on, like he has to end up taking that kid and having his mom raise that kid, and that's kind of messed up for her. So it's just like it's all backwards. It's like you said, this man's got his priorities all over the place.
And then they get slaughtered on top of that. Like it
Yes.
took him like remembering, like understanding, like, oh, they're gonna come to this planet because they found out about this planet, and now I gotta protect them. Like, bro, what? Go back to bro, go back to Earth now. And then I don't know, man. Like they did Mark's mom like Invincible's mom so bad. Like it looked like she was getting ready to forgive him, and she thought about forgiving him for a second. Like, fuck out of here, man. Like this man slaughtered millions using your son's face. Like what? And traumatized the dude, you know? And I don't know, maybe that it was a way of like having extreme growth within like a near invincible character like Mark, and kind of challenging his development, because when's the last time Superman's got some development, right? Like, is essentially like Kryptonians battling each other.
Right.
Even like with like Kryptonian fights, like I've never seen anything as brutal as this. This is crazy, and then each forgetting what planet they're called. They're from shit. I'm forgetting.
Well, they're Viltrumites, so
from Viltrum, yeah. And I'm so ready for season 3, but the fact that these you can actually see like not all of the Viltrumites are the same amount of strength, which I like. Right. They're brutally beating each other. Like when Superman was fighting like and the Kryptonians that were trapped in the fucking Black Mirror shit. I'm forgetting what the fuck they were trapped in. But when they were trapped by Kal-El's father, basically, or I guess that's not what's shown in the most recent Superman movie, but that is the actual story. But when they were trapped and then they came back to go fight Superman, they looked like they were like the same amount of strength, you really won't get that level of like graphicness unless there's some like kryptonite around, and even that, like technically, I mean, they should be around like human level strength. But they're still stronger because you still see like when there's kryptonite being used, and then there's an amount of force that should kill a human is hitting a Kryptonian. They still don't love like that. They they still don't die. Like Superman fell. He falls at points in times like out of the sky, out of like miles from the sky. It hits the ground or slide into a building, and he's still good. Like he just needs to get away from the kryptonite. Like, bro, you should have died in that moment you were next to kryptonite. But
right?
Whatever. I'm really looking forward to future Superman movies. Hopefully the next ones show that he's a little bit more it gives more of like a more realistic approach when Superman's surrounded by kryptonite. I feel like that would be a good direction to kind of push Superman. Yeah.
What was the last like for Superman? Was the last solo just regular like Superman by himself movie? Was
Return.
Man of Steel? Oh, was it Return? I thought it was Man of Steel.
Was it Man of Steel?
Yeah, I think it was Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is after Superman Returns. Yeah, no, I think like. Yeah, I remember as brutal as it got with that too. Speaking of like the brutality, I remember like in the end, there was a fight between him and then another Kryptonian. I forgot exactly which character it was, but I remember at the end of the movie, like he broke his neck, and like a lot of people were really mad about that because they're like, "Oh no, it's not in Superman's character to do something like that. Like Superman doesn't kill." But I remember like in the movie. I remember in the movie, like they gave him a choice or something like that. He was like, "Well, if you don't kill me, I'm gonna shoot these laser rays at these civilians or something like that, and I'm gonna take them out."
I do remember that.
Then he made that decision. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty extreme for Superman, and I didn't think about it like that. He doesn't kill intentionally.
No.
In a real world, there was a real Superman. That man would have killed a dozen people just by living.
That's something that I think about too. With like superhero films, when they're just like fighting around and like there's so much destruction going on, and like you see like a building falling to the side, but you just seen before that building fall to the side, there were cars driving on the ground like right below that, but the screen pans out to where you don't see the building fall. I'm like, oh no, all those people just died. but they're not showing that part. I'm like, oh no, like the damage, like if Superman was real, oh man, the level of like property damage and then like just random people that are getting hurt would be just like insane.
But he exists, like he thrives in the universe, in that universe, because he is no god, and all the villains essentially tell him that, like, he is no god, he is just a hero, right? And so heroes have faults and people still die, but I would like to see a director make that challenge, and hopefully they could implement something like that.
Yeah, like I hope so too. And like speaking of like the God thing, like I hope they go back to like a more traditional, like humble style Superman. Because I remember like in the comics, like Superman is like the type of person where like even though he's he's almost like a god among men because of the way his powers are, like, he sees himself as that protector. But I like when it comes to like the common people, like he literally, before he's talking to them, like he'll kneel down, to their level, like on his knee before like he goes and he'll talk to the people kind of thing. Like I like that aspect of Superman where like even though like he's like this protector, but then like at the same time like he sees himself almost like he wants to be almost on the same level as everybody else. Like he's not a person with a god complex. But then I see like in like certain movies, like especially nowadays that have Superman in it, like I remember like Batman versus Superman and like Justice League and stuff. Like I remember like a scene or something where like Batman punched Superman and he's like, "Do you bleed?" And then I remember like in Justice League, like he got his payback and he punched him back. He's like, "Do you bleed?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm bleeding on the inside," kind of thing. But I'm like, oh, that's not like Superman though. That's not a Superman action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was really to like favor both sides of the spectrum. I think most fans appreciated it. I definitely did. I think that for sure, like when it pertains to only Superman movie, it does make sense for him to like do things like kneeling down, because it's supposed to be like, even though I am of higher statute, I serve the people,
Right.
He's someone who serves the people, which is he does come from humble beginnings technically. I mean, that's they raised on a farm. They they make sure to emphasize that in every single Superman movie.
Right.
Raised on a farm, it wasn't about city life, and learned through trials and tribulations in school, and became someone who works for the daily paper, I think it's called. Maybe I'm thinking Superman.
No, you're right. It's Superman.
Maybe I'm thinking Spider-Man. I don't know. I think
Spider-Man as well, but I think Spider-Man was more of a he's a photographer. Where Superman he actually Superman actually writes, whereas like Spider-Man is a photographer though.
That's right, because I remember like the older cartoons and movies. I think he even wrote his own like and I feel like I want to say Spider-Man does the same thing. He'll write his own like headlines.
Yeah. Sometimes I remember sometimes where he would have to go out and produce a headline, or sometimes they would have him go out and take photos for something that they want for a headline.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this man was out there making his own headlines though, because I remember there were times where like he was in the spider suit taking pictures of stuff that he did himself. So
yeah. I mean, he probably be a little bit more sneakier, but I mean, they're technically like Superman could probably take the picture and then get in front of the camera because he's that fast.
Right.
Faster than light, because he could technically do that. I mean, the mechanics of it working out on Earth, it doesn't make sense unless he's able to kind of transform his body into light, because it's still physical, so the science doesn't really track with that. But with Spider-Man, he could have a web like hit the camera thing and just be in front of the camera. Yeah, it's that easy for Spider-Man.
Man, speaking of that, like one thing I just thought about with Superman that I never understood, like, okay, with every other hero, like as far as like their secret identity goes, they usually people don't know who they are because they have like the mask on or whatever. But this man, Superman, looks almost exactly the same, whether he's at the office or with the super suit on. He just takes his glasses off and there'll be like one little strand of hair that might hang down a little bit, but he looks exactly the same. I'm like, you guys don't know this is the same guy?
Let's get the stupidest civilians in the world, I swear. I'm like, bro, how do you not know that? He doesn't even cover his face. Like he
exactly.
He just gels up his hair with whatever.
Right.
Maybe He usually gels up his hair differently, and then wears the same face. Like, come on, man. What? You tell me you get all the photos you have of this guy, the FBI hasn't even figured it out? Come on, man. Like
Right?
the whole Man of Steel, like wasn't he working with like the FBI? Like
Yeah, I believe so at some point.
they
There
should
was a time when he did.
they should have been figured that out. Like, so we won't keep your we'll we won't even that would be dumb, you know. It's like, bro, the guy works for like a newspaper company, and you're telling me that you haven't put two and two together. Like, come on, man. Where are all these headlines coming from? Who's making these headlines? Especially
right?
like, and bring that into like today's world society, or the real world. People would have figured that out in like half a second.
Right?
People make correlations for people that don't even look like each other. Like, okay.
Exactly. Like I'm told like all the time, like I look that people are like, "Oh, are you such and such?" I'm like, "No, I don't look nothing like that." So I have no idea. I don't know how Superman gets away with it. It's crazy, man.
I know I look like a lot of people, and that's probably good. I have a very, very like, depending on like how I take care of myself. I could look like someone you know, or I could look like someone you don't know. Yeah, I could. It doesn't matter. But I do realize there's a lot of people with my same facial structure, facial features. Oh, okay, whatever. I kind of get away with that a little bit. Maybe I could be Superman. I don't know. There's black Superman, as a matter of fact.
Oh yeah, there has been one once. What do you think though? Like what do you think of the like an evil Superman as a concept though? Like how Omni-Man is? Because like
there is evil Superman. They need to make it happen. They've already had cartoons movies. There's like one, I think it's called Doomsday. Superman Doomsday, and it has Doomsday in it. And I believe Superman dies. They make a clone of Superman, and then evil Superman beats up Doomsday.
Yeah,
a little bit, and then I think it's something like Lex Luthor did, and then as like during that point in time, like he basically either snaps out of it, or there's like another like the original Superman that comes back. I'm forgetting. It's been a while since I watched that movie, but yeah, it even. I think it's even in the comics. There's definitely like evil Superman. They just need to make it happen live action. Like that should have been happened.
right. Yeah, I feel you on that. I kind of been wanting to see that because like even going back to like watching Invincible and just seeing like, oh man, like some of the stuff with Ani, man, like it just makes me think like, man, I kind of want to see that happen. But then like at the same time, I can understand like a lot of people they're kind of tired of I brought it up because a lot of people are kind of tired of like that trope in a way because there's Ani Man, and I remember like there was a film I think it was called Brightburn a long time ago, where it was like this child that they took in a farm, and it was basically in a way like a Superman ripoff, where he just pretty much went through the same thing Superman did growing up, but instead of good, he just turned a different leaf and ended up evil. Huh?
He was evil. Yeah, I do remember that movie.
Yeah. And then like I know like in a lot of games and stuff like recently, I know there's like the Injustice games and stuff like that. Like we're primarily in the story, Superman. They have like the evil Superman. So I understand like some people being tired of it, which is why I brought it up. But I do like how like going back to like Invincible for season 2, I do like how season 1 mainly focused on what was going on with Omni-Man, whereas like season 2 focused more on Mark and like what was going on with his mindset and him coming into his own and kind of understanding himself because he wants to be you can see like in season 2, he has this resentment towards his dad finding out, who he really is in season 1. But like there are ways where he's like his dad. So it's you can see where he's figuring out himself. And then like there's the season finale where he's fighting Angstrom, and then he ends up you know, pretty much brutalizing him, taking him out in a way that directly mirrors when his father was beating on him at the end of season 1. But like Angstrom, like he couldn't take it like he did. He was just like, I thought you were stronger. That was gone. So like
Wait, you're talking about what?
the end of Invincible season 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh dang. I'm spoiling. Okay, I don't want to spoil anymore, but yeah, like you'll
Okay.
see exactly what I mean. Like there's those parallels there from season 2 to season 1. But yeah. But I'm not gonna spoil any further with that.
It's all good, man. I should have watched it sooner, and I have the option. It's not like I can't just watch it. I've been busy.
Yeah, no, you're good. Like season 2 ended not too long ago. So if you haven't seen it or seen the end of it already, like that's completely understandable. But
No worries. There's a back on the topic of Superman though. There is a Superman coming out, or rumored to be coming out, right? July of 2025.
yeah, a new Superman movie. And like you said, like I'm hoping with that one, like they take things in a new direction. What
Mhm.
direction they take with it, I'm not quite sure, but I don't want it to be oh no, I don't want it to be just like a remake of Man of Steel kind of thing, and then
Yeah.
just redo like a Superman origin story. Like I kind of want them to explore like something different with Superman's character.
Yeah, like really, I mean, now they've really got to take Superman into the metaverse. That's the only direction I really see it going. And there are like Superman in the metaverse gets crazy. Like, the amount of variance with Superman is just really, he could be a villain all on his own. Like I tend to remember most of his variants being villains. His the ones that are like, even the ones that are like good, because like when you give him more power, from what I recall, what seems to happen is he just becomes like the god of the verse, right? Of
Right.
like a like a god of the universe, apparent essentially, right? And so I don't really see him being like if it is a Superman movie, I don't see it being a singular, like a solo Superman movie, unless they're going to play off and make an updated version of evil Superman. There, even like just without the metaverse, there are ways where like in other universes there are not even like parallel universes like the multiverse, but like other universes there is literally Supermans. um
Right.
so they could play off on that too, and maybe have them fight each other. It'd be interesting. There's already a few good Superman movies, like like I mentioned before, Superman Returns. um you got Man of Steel. Those are solid Superman movies. Maybe not the most accurate. I think maybe Superman Return is probably the most accurate, I want to say. Um, but what they could do, they already kind of, I think they always show us the farm portion, but show us like, how that affects Superman on a mental level. And
Right.
have us like walk us through the struggles in his daily life, like when he goes home, like what he does, and when he's walking from work, and when he chooses to use his powers, and when he chooses not to use his powers. and when he sees certain things and he chooses not to do it or chooses to do it, because I doubt, and this would be unbelievable if he did every single thing he's seen or heard. Now, depending on the priority level, like on his list, like I want to see like how he weighs that, right? Like if it's just petty, I don't know, like something little, like someone jaywalking. I want to see him walk past, right? I want to see him walk past. Like he's patriotic, yeah, sure, but you know, he's just staying within one city, right? I want to see him go to different cities, and then coming back to home base or whatever, you know. But you know, let's go to different cities, live among them. Let's go to the country or go to the city area, go to different countries, and see like how he lives life there. Like I think I want to say, if we're taking Man of Steel like literally, then if that organization, which I believe to be the FBI, I think they're keeping him, like they're sort of like restricting him from going outside of that city. I could be wrong, but I believe that to be the case, which would also I would also want to see them explore, if they were to go down that route. But yeah, the multiverse is always up for grabs. They're doing that with the Wolverine versus Wolverine and Deadpool movie. So yeah, I mean, it's that's good. That's good stuff. I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I hope they do something like that. Just do something different for Superman. Like the only thing that I don't want to see is just a straight up reboot origin story. Like if they do something different from that, I think, and make it a solid movie, I think I'd be happy with that. But there's also uh Batman 2 is supposed to be coming out sometime after the Superman movie next year in 2026. Superman, I think, is coming 2025 supposedly, and this one is another one that takes place in a universe as the latest Batman movie that just came out. You know, the one that was just titled The Batman that had the dude from the Twilight films. I don't know why I keep forgetting this dude's name. It's
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Patterson. I don't know why I keep forgetting this dude's
I
name.
remember every vampire out there. Yeah,
but
so I know who, you know, if someone comes and bites me, like who, you know, who I gotta follow, you know, who I gotta hunt down,
no.
so I could be the vampire grandfather.
Oh no! Like I thought, like you go ahead. My bad.
Nah, I'm just being stupid.
No, like I thought though, like he surprisingly, I don't know, like for some reason because I associate him with like being a vampire. Like I was a little skeptical at first of him playing Batman for the Batman coming off of the previous trilogy because I thought the previous trilogy that they did for Batman was pretty solid. So like a lot of people had like expectations for this guy, but I think like he did pretty well in his role for Batman. Like I feel like he was better though when he was Batman than when he was playing just like Bruce Wayne. Like I don't think he fit like he didn't give me like those rich guy like Bruce Wayne vibes so much, but when he was Batman, I think he did pretty good for that film.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to agree with you. Like I don't think if that's what. So Bruce Wayne, he's not only a businessman, but he's also like a politician in a way.
Right.
He influences like the city of Gotham's politics like heavily. Like he controls that city, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Like his money floats, right? And so I think like that part, like that dark part of Bruce Wayne, they kind of played into a little bit. And then of course the that rich guy aspect, that's pretty much done in every film. So I think that's probably why they didn't include that much.
Yeah, I get that.
You did gather that he wasn't, broke in that film. And then, yeah, I mean, I think vampires and bats, they're synonymous. If he could play a bat, if he could play a vampire, then he could definitely play Batman. At least I'd hope. And so, with the years of experience and him being an actor for this long, I think that the role was definitely something he could build on. And hearing that the Batman 2 is coming out in October 2026. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm more than excited because I thought the Batman, as a film, I enjoyed it. I did. It felt very Gotham-y.
Yeah, it had a like even going back a little bit to like the Bruce Wayne thing, like he wasn't it's a different tone entirely. Like he was more of a dark, brooding kind of Bruce Wayne. And like you can feel that throughout the entirety of the film. Like the film has a very dark, brooding film noir kind of vibe to it.
It almost like what's that city called? That movie called with Bruce in it. Keep going. I'll think about it.
Oh yeah. No problem at all. But yeah, like it had like that, like a dark, brooding kind of film, kind of feel to it. I said kind of film, but and that's throughout the film. Like even with the way the score was, like it's a completely different tone from the movies that came before them. Whereas like I felt like the Dark Knight trilogy, that was dark in a way too, but I feel like with the Batman, it leaned more into a more like grounded kind of detective kind of story rather than a like a that spectacular kind of superhero-esque film feel to it. I keep saying film instead of feel, but feel to it that the other movies had. Like it's much more grounded, much more dark.
It feels Marvel. It almost actually that's incorrect to say. It feels like the dark part of DC for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And for to come back to the original part that I was going to mention, you mentioned that it has this dark aesthetic to it. A few movies that come to mind when I first saw it and watched it is it kind of reminds me of like Sin City with Bruce Willis, which was one of my
does
movies, as well as like The Watchmen, the investigator dark natured aspect in Powers, for sure. Like those two movies, I think it took, I don't know, I can't say this for certain, but it feels like it took some inspiration from those movies.
I can completely feel that, like especially thinking back to The Watchmen. And surprisingly, I was surprised a lot of people didn't like The Watchmen, but I enjoyed that movie. Like even the ending. No, you didn't like it?
No, I loved it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, man, you didn't like it too? I was like, no, but no, I really liked the Watchmen. A lot of people didn't like that one for some reason, but I enjoyed it. Like the ending to that movie still, I remember it like still now when like Rorschach was like, go ahead, do it, and then Dr. Manhattan just went ahead and just offed him. Like I was like, no.
Yeah, that movie was shit when it came out.
Wild movie, but it had a really dark aesthetic to it, like you said. Like and it immediately made me think of when I watched it the first time of Sin City. Like even with like the way like Rorschach, like he talks and you hear like his internal dialogue with the narration. it completely reminded me of the way that they did it in Sin City, where like the narration and that internal dialogue that was going on between the scenes. So yeah, like I can completely get that feel. Definitely. And I
I
think they definitely did take some inspiration from those two films when they made the Batman for that film noir kind of feel.
see, Breezy, this is why you're part of this thing zone, man. Because we could talk about this stuff, man. You know, I don't know anyone else who's able to like bring, remember and talk about like make that correlation too. Yeah, definitely. I get the vibes for sure. Damn, that's go. And man, Bruce. Every time I think of Sin City, the greatness of Bruce Willis that he left us with, is just it's irreplaceable, but I won't get on that topic.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, I think we had talked about it before. Like Bruce Willis is really good. Like even I liked his role in the I think it was the Unbreakable series where they had like Unbreakable, Split, like Mr. Glass. Like even his role in those are really good. Like, and I mentioned that one because it has more of that kind of it's closer to that kind of superhero aspect or feel to it, kind of like Watchmen Watchmen and why can't I think of it? We just talked about Sin City, Watchmen and Sin City. Yeah. So I mean, but he's pretty good. Like I know, he's having his health issues and stuff like that, unfortunately. But anything with Bruce Willis in it is always a treat.
You know who else was a part of that era though? Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Wesley Snipes is gonna be making a return in Blade.
Oh yeah. The new Blade film that's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, November 2025, rumored or sooner. I would want to say sooner, but the rumor is November 2025. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe we could start a petition, guys. Start a petition with me. Outside. But yeah, that's great news, man. Wesley Snipes. I believe he'll be coming on. I mean, based off that information, I'm assuming he'll be possibly coming on as like a variant. I also saw some posters with Michael B. Jordan doing like a vampire, doing quote vampire roles. I don't know if he'll be playing into Blade or the aesthetic of the actual screenshot picture. It looked more like it fit the narrative of Interview with the Vampire, but
right.
He could play them both. Fuck it, play them both. And then maybe have him cross over to maybe like Interview with the Vampire. Like, whoa, like, is there gonna be a crossover?
Oh man,
never make a crossover. Never make a cross. That does. It's not. It's just not in the. I don't.
No. I hope not.
See them ever doing that. I hope they wouldn't, because Interview with the Vampire is its own type of. It's not Blade.
No, it has a completely different feel to Blade too. And don't get me wrong, like I love Michael B. Jordan as an actor, but like I hope what you're saying is right, where like if Michael B. Jordan, if that film does actually happen to be Blade related instead of something completely different, I hope Wesley Snipes is like a Blade variant, like you were saying before, because I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's just right because he played the character, for the first three Blade movies, I believe. Like he just feels like it's right for him to be the character. So if Michael B. Jordan ends up being like Blade in a way as well, then like I just want to see Wesley Snipes as Blade. Like I'm not gonna lie.
That would be amazing. Maybe they could do something similar to like what Arnold Schwarzenegger did after he was done being governor. He basically came back to the Terminator franchise as another model, which was fantastic, absolutely amazing. Love the Terminator series. Can't wait for the next one. I will keep watching the Terminator series. Waiting for Judgment Day. Judgment Day is upon us. No, I'm just kidding. So with yeah, for sure. Like I think they could do something similar with Wesley Snipes. Maybe just playing this one movie just to start maybe the new Blade off as the official Blade. Like I feel like that would be perfect as like the official Blade. It'd be
I
like
hope so.
Campaign homage to that.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, if not even him being the official Blade, like I just want him to be Blade in some way. Like, I just want to see that. So I hope it's the rumor is right that he's coming back to play the character. But if that doesn't end up being so, well, or let's say like if it does end up being so, it's crazy coincidental that Michael B. Jordan is filmed doing a vampire film anyway, around the same year, near the same time, because I think Blade is slated for the fall of 2025, but the Untitled movie that Michael B. Jordan is supposed to be in is rumored to be a little bit earlier, coming in March. So the same year. So
I'm not gonna lie, it'd be extremely weird to also
yes.
Michael B. Jordan like as a variant. Like I feel like if he were to be playing Blade, he would have to be the official. Like he's too big of an actor.
Right. It'd be so weird.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Also,
next
coming up is Deadpool and Wolverine is coming sooner. So July 2024. So this summer. Like this one I'm kind of excited for because I thought the first Deadpool, the first two Deadpool movies were pretty hilarious. And I find it funny though that they they decided to make it instead of Deadpool 3, they just went ahead and did with the Deadpool versus Wolverine thing because it was I remember at the end credits of Deadpool 2, I didn't look at it like that at first, but like there's like this Easter egg at the end credits where like Deadpool went back in time and he killed the Deadpool from the Wolverine movie that was just called The Wolverine. And I think that movie came out around, I don't know, like 2008, but I think you know what film I'm talking about. But it was just called The Wolverine. But he killed the Deadpool in that movie in front of Wolverine. But then like I was like, oh snap! Like I see, like it's kind of a hint that the next Deadpool movie would involve Wolverine in some way. So it's kind of cool that they kind of gave that kind of Easter egg, but hint at the same time that they were kind of.
See, now I want to go back and watch it. I don't even remember that part. Now,
it's at the end credits of Deadpool 2. Either Deadpool 1, no, Deadpool 2. I'm pretty sure it was Deadpool 2. Yeah, it's an end credit scene.
Deadpool. It is possible to kill Deadpool.
Yeah. It's he went back and killed the old Deadpool, but yeah.
He was older.
No. Like, okay, there was the film The Wolverine, and in the film The Wolverine, the final boss, like at the the final, not final boss, but like the final person that Wolverine had to fight at the end of that movie was Deadpool. But the Deadpool in that movie was like a like he was a bit different. He had like the adamantium, and then he had the claw or the blades on his arms, if I remember right. But like his mouth was like completely sewed shut. They showed his mouth shut because they got tired of like how Deadpool makes his jokes and like talk so much trash. So like he didn't have no mouth to speak. He was just they did this man dirty. But you should go back and watch it though if you don't remember.
No, I feel like I need to go back and watch it for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, he killed the Deadpool at the end of the credits for Deadpool 2 in front of Wolverine. So it kind of hinted at like we're kind of doing things new involving these two characters kind of thing. So I just find it funny that, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine was the next movie following right after that. And then like I know a lot of people were like they were kind of worried because they're like Disney around the same time after Deadpool 2 um came out acquired Marvel Studios under its umbrella. So people were thinking like, okay, no, it's been acquired by Disney. So the edgy jokes and stuff like that, you know, might end up being gone, or not edgy jokes, but the darker humor might end up being gone because you know Disney they like to keep it family friendlier and whatnot. But no,
Yeah.
apparently the movie, from what I see, it's still rated R. So we'll see what they end
Yeah.
up doing with it.
I mean, they you know technically Bleach is, I think that Thousand More Blood Roar. I think Disney has the rights to that. Um, I don't know if that'll influence how it is here in the U.S. I mean, from what I've seen, there hasn't been any changes to that because of
Right.
that. You know, so I mean, it's on Disney Plus. Um, so I don't know. That's interesting. Hmm. Next up, though, we have X-Men 97 TV show. Like, what?
Oh yeah. X-Men 97.
I
I'm
know
glad. Oh,
about this.
go ahead. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
No, I know we meant to talk about this like a month ago, but we forgot to mention it. And I am not caught up with this personally. I just find this extremely interesting.
Yeah, me myself, I've watched a little bit of it because I like the original show when I was younger. So it's something that just like immediately just piqued my interest for just nostalgia purposes. But I don't know, I just like the way that they did it and they brought it back. Like it's still it has like a modern animation style in the way the art style is and in the way the characters move around and stuff. But you can still see like a hint of that old school aesthetic, which I really like and I really appreciate that throwback. Like the easiest way I can describe it is like you know like when you think of old shows and then like in your head they look so much better back then than they actually look, like you know the rose tinted glasses kind of thing,
Yeah.
like, and then you go back and you watch it and it's like, oh man, this doesn't look as good as I remember it looking, but you still have that love for it. This show to me, like it just puts those rose tinted glasses on for you, like it literally looks like in your head what you would imagine the old show to be like if you watched it today. So I really appreciate that aspect of it. And then another thing that I appreciate about that show is that like it didn't everything X-Men, every time they, you know, like film and stuff like that, not every time, but a lot of times they adopt the like the Dark Phoenix saga, like all the time, or you know, like Days of Future Past. But I like how with this one it starts out with like Magneto's redemption arc of him becoming the X-Men's leader after Professor Professor X is gone. So
Yeah.
I like how it takes that different approach because I'm
Interesting.
so burned out on Dark Phoenix stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love Jean Grey as a character, and I love the Dark Phoenix saga, but I'm just kind of burnt out on it because it's been redone so many times. So I
Yeah.
just like it. It's just something fresh. I only seen a few episodes of it, but from what I've seen, like it's a big like love letter to people who like the old show.
That is fantastic news. Where can we find it for the travelers out there that want to know?
This one is on Netflix and Disney Plus.
Netflix and Disney Plus. Hey, you guys got no excuses now. Either broke or less broke. Which pick a poison and choose where you want to watch it, folks. Damn, that is crazy. That is great news. Wow. Are we going to mention Black Clover?
Oh yeah, Black Clover. So for Black Clover, it's getting season 5. Season 5 should be coming on sometime this year. Like me myself, I'm not caught up with everything that's happening with Black Clover, but I know season 5 has been anticipated for like a long time. I think season 4 ended man, like a couple years ago. Like it's been a minute, like a long time coming for people who've been waiting on this for Black Clover.
Yeah, they stopped right after at Asta and Ichibi. I'm forgetting his devil's name. But there's still a lot of lore behind, like who, and it's not like lore just to have lore, it's lore with substance, right? So like actually knowing the correlation, like we know there's something there primarily because him and his devil have had conversations, and they have like this almost soul connection type of interaction, and it's sort of presented as if they already know, like together, that their mother are the same mothers, but it was never really, and not by blood, because the devil technically before Asa's mother passed away, took care of that devil when it came back. Spoiler if you have, for the guys that haven't watched it yet. When he actually was kicked out of hell, he basically ran into Asa's mother. Asa's mother took care of him and didn't really see him as a devil, saw him just like as a child, because it was a young devil, right? It was essentially a child. And so she basically took care of it, showed it like how to live as a human, sort of, within the time that they had. And that was the first interaction that devil had to the real world, or the civilian world, the human world. And so it's all very interesting right now. You've got Lucius, which I won't spoil, like his origin, if you guys don't already know. But it is very, very amazing how they were the creator was able to bring that full circle, right? We all sort of knew, most of us made theories about it, but we couldn't say definitively that was the case. Absolute genius. Like Black Clover has some of the best writing in shonen, comparatively to most new gen anime. So yeah, hats off. There's 2 new chapters coming out for it, right? And shy of like a few weeks to maybe a month from now. So I'll definitely be checking those out. I am up to date with the manga. If you guys would like to hear more about Black Clover going forward, definitely mention that below. I don't know, mention it in the Discord or whatever. Right? Hell yeah! I'm so hyped for this. And I can't wait for the anime to come back. Is there an official release date for that yet?
No, not an official release date. We just know it's supposed to be coming out sometime this year, is the rumor.
Ooh, you know what that means. Watch party. Watch party. Yeah.
Yeah, when it drops, definitely.
We got to do it. Because the current anime is fire. So The next one though. Next one is Solo Leveling Ragnarok. The manhwa returns from break April 29, 2024. Now, Solo Leveling Ragnarok, I still have to do my due diligence and actually find out more about this actual manga spinoff. But it seems to me as if they're continuing on with the Solo Leveling franchise. So this is great news. Because how it ended almost like it was at a third quarter point, and I was kind of like, okay, well, it's okay ending. Like it's perfect to just end like that. It completes itself, but it does feel like there's a lot of new information tossed out at the end, which is something that I didn't like personally. And maybe they'll expand on that in Ragnarok. Maybe they have. For some of you guys that already know, make sure leave a comment. Let us know, because I would definitely like to know. You'll probably be able to mention in the comment section before I get a chance to look it up. So I don't know. Have you heard about this at all, Breezy?
Yeah, I just heard that it's supposed to be coming out tomorrow, pretty much. For me, like my experience for Solo Leveling has just been through watching season 1 of the anime. So everything that pertains to Solo Leveling and the manga stuff is new to me. But apparently for Solo Leveling Ragnarok, it covers the adventures of Sung Jin Woo's son. So I'm like, okay, this man has a kid already. So so that's what that's about. I'm not sure of what the plot is beyond that, but it's returning tomorrow after a hiatus, apparently.
That's crazy. That was great news.
Also, Sakamoto Days is up to 164 chapters at this point.
What?
Like this is one that I've just started, and like the stuff in Sakamoto Days, first off, is crazy. I do like I do like how it mostly deals with like assassins and like gunplay. But I'm just like I'm like, first off, how does this man, Mr. Sakamoto, move so fast? Like this man is big, but like the stuff that he does is ridiculous. But
yeah, another I gotta catch up on.
But so far though, I'm enjoying it. Like if anybody wants something that's just kind of fresh from things that have to do with I want to say like that have like a power system kind of thing, because this is more this has more gunplay to it. I'm trying to think of something similar to Sakamoto Days that I can draw a correlation to. But
would you say Kagurabachi?
A little bit, but Kagurabachi has like the magic aspect to it, though.
Okay.
Yeah. But in tone, though, I guess like in tone, like as far as the pacing goes, like it's similar to Kagurabachi in a way. But definitely check it out, though. I think you would just have to read it and see it for yourself to see what I mean. But I'm enjoying Sakamoto Days so far. Like I like the comedy in it, and I just find it hilarious. Like some of the feats that this man, Mr. Sakamoto, does.
Yeah, that's good. Damn, 164 chapters. That's legit. And it still has a lot of hype behind it, because I hear about it all the time. Now, don't spoil it. Don't spoil me. Yeah. Damn. Next up, we got Tower of God. All right. Season 2 coming back July 2024, around the corner. That's like a
couple months. Yeah, just 3 months from now.
Yeah,
Less than 3 months. 2 now.
Yeah, I am so hyped for this. This is probably the most hype thing there is for me this year, aside from the MonsterVerse. That is crazy. It's I know it's currently at. I'm caught up. Essentially, it's at chapters if you counting all of them. 609 chapters, right? And they're called episodes, but they're chapters. They fortunately for us, we get color pages, unlike some other chapters mangas. This manga provides color, which most manhwa do. Check it out though. Yeah, chapter 609 just released a few hours ago. So if you're not caught up, I want to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, and going off of what we were saying before earlier, you mentioned Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi is at 31 chapters now, and it's doing pretty good numbers from what I'm hearing. Kagurabachi is doing good, cooking actually.
Yeah, I'm currently at chapter 13. And
13. Okay.
it's good. It is good. I've got to probably catch up this week. But yeah, this is going to be one of the mangas. I think that one of the mangas and animes, if animated properly, is going to overtake a lot of animes. Is probably gonna be like top dog if I'm being completely serious. And I could be exaggerating again. I have not completely caught up. So I don't, but it provides like it has potential. It presents well. Go check it out for sure. Yeah, are you caught up on it?
I'm fully caught up with Kagurabachi at the moment, but like I kind of wish you on the as far as like potential goes. Like I think I can definitely see it with the way that the numbers are going right now, and it's definitely with the way as far as it being hyped up, and as far as what I've been hearing with what's been going on with the recent chapters, it's definitely getting animated at some point. So it's just a matter of time with that one. The potential is definitely there.
Hell yeah. Now we got our I think now's the time, perfect time to go into our movie section.
Yeah, there's a Lord of the Rings trilogy remaster that's coming this summer in June. It's going to be a fully 4K remastered version of the original trilogy, and supposedly it's supposed to have some extended cuts that weren't seen before in the original trilogy. So that's pretty cool. Like Lord of the Rings, it's been a long time since I've seen the Lord of the Rings series. I know I've seen like the whole thing because when I was little, we used to have the entire series pretty much on like those old VHS tapes that you had to pretty much like rewind back if you wanted to watch the film over from the beginning. Like so, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I was real little when I seen the films, but yes, it's something I'm interested in re-seeing because I remember when I was little, I used to do that, and I used to watch scenes from the film back then. So I just want to see, kind of like when I was talking with X-Men '97 for that nostalgia factor to see, it is the series as good now as it was that I remembered. So, and especially with them remastering it in 4K and adding some things to it, it sounds, pretty interesting. So,
Remastering it, like that sounds interesting. I don't know how I feel about that in particular. I'm great seeing the current visuals. But hey, why not? If it could be better, make it better. I've watched pretty much every Hobbit related Lord of the Rings related movie that there is, or content that there is. You know, so I mean, this is great news for me. I couldn't be more hyped about this. And from what I've heard, it's supposed to also include some extended cuts, right?
Yeah, extended cuts as well.
Dang. I mean, yeah.
I don't think I think with this one when they well I don't know. I guess we'll see what they mean when they see remaster. Because I didn't think when I heard remaster, I didn't think of it as like a complete redo of the visuals. I just think like they're just taking the current visuals and just cleaning it up and upscaling it. But I could be completely wrong on that.
No, I think you're on the right page. Yeah, just cleaning up, making it put it in higher quality, but putting it scaling it up so it's in higher quality. And of course, including those extended cuts in it. So that's great news. Yeah, hell yeah. Next up we have an untitled vampire film. This is what I was talking about earlier with Michael B. Jordan. Filmed practicing for a movie. What this movie could be?
No clue.
No clue. Right. I just hope. I hope that is something Interview with the Vampire related. It looked like it was Interview with the Vampire related. If it is, I'm doing a reaction video to the trailer live here on the Sync Zone podcast. Hell to the yes, make it happen. Michael B. Jordan playing it. It would only make sense. Now, I just hope it's not a remake. Make it a sequel or something for sure. Or even a prequel. Make it a prequel. Fuck it. Why not? Right. I mean, that might come later. Typically, prequels come later, but whatever. Start up the storyline again. This is all I'm asking. I mean, there's so many vampire movies out there. It could be anything. I'm just really itching for Interview with the Vampire movie. And it feels like it fits the theme just based on the photo that I've seen of the filmed him being filmed practicing the movie. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds pretty interesting. There's also sometime in 2025, man, a lot of 2025 things coming up. But a Karate Kid movie, and this Karate Kid movie supposedly is supposed to have the same guy that was in the Cobra Kai films, and then Jackie Chan is going to be in this one as well.
Yeah, man, I am so excited for that. You know what? I'm gonna do you guys a solid here. New Karate Kid. This is like huge news for people that have watched Karate Kid at all, let alone the original Karate Kid and the older movies, because there's also a female Karate Kid, which a lot of people don't even know about. All they think about when they when they hear Karate Kid is Will Smith's son, right? But no, or this guy here who's all grown up. He's in Cobra Kai, and yeah, this man is a sensei now. Spoiler, but let me go.
Hi, everyone.
Let me show you this quick trailer here.
We've got big news.
We're starring in a new Karate Kid movie together.
That's big news. But we even have bigger news.
Bigger than that?
We're looking for next Karate Kid.
That's right. The global search for the...
Yo, you guys signed up to be Karate Kid?
Our new film starts right now. So let's wax on, wax off, everybody.
You mean check it on, check it off, hang it up?
Maybe the new Karate Kid will have to do it all. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm very, very excited.
Let's do it. Learn more about this new role.
Yo, I gotta sign up as that Karate Kid. Think they'll accept the beard?
I don't know. They might make you shave the beard.
Right, it has to be a kid.
Yeah, they want to make you shave the beard.
Whatever. Damn, guys. I mean, not only are they providing a new Karate Kid with the same actor from the original Karate Kid, but I'm forgetting his name, as well as Jackie Chan, which everyone knows his name. I'm a little skeptical because I know Jackie Chan also played Mr. Miyagi. And so how would he play? Because in Cobra Kai, Miss Miyagi died, if I remember correctly. So I'm a little confused there as to like why they would be playing in a movie together. But that's all very interesting. I'm excited.
For sure. We also have some a couple tech news to go over, I think. For the Optimus robot, I think that Tesla has been working on. It's the Optimus 2. Elon Musk says that the robots could launch by the end of next year. So I'm wondering what that would look like and what practical use that they might put the robots to. Like I could see them performing like maybe like some work tasks, like as far as like maybe helping speed up assembly in some type of way. Maybe I know Tesla does car production, so I could see them being involved in like assembly of cars. I know like some people have been talking about the Tesla bots being used as like Ubers. I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess it just depends on how intelligent they actually are.
Well, let's see.
Oh no. And this is Gen 1 right here. We're on Gen 2 now already.
This is Gen 2. They're advertising, but that was previously. Yeah, you're right. That was Gen 1.
Oh wow.
Look at that. Tesla's changing the game. So I guess in the field of robotics, the game has officially changed. I mean, that guy is walking. He's walking. He's picking up things. He's walking. Pretty soon they'll come in. Full size kits. Everyone will get one in their household. It's here. The future is here, whether you want it or not. Now it's time to adapt.
Crazy.
Make it marketable. This is crazy. It's huge news. Huge, almost as huge as Karate Kid.
Right?
It's huge news. Yeah, that's huge. But yeah, Optimus robot. And pretty soon, Optimus Prime is going to be showing up. You see Gundams at your door.
Oh no. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Japan really took down their Gundam is because they have a real Gundam now. It's
right.
Yeah, they're ready. They're ready. Yeah, for That's how they're preparing. They're not preparing nukes. They're preparing Gundams. Got Gundams in the basement. That's why. All right. Enough of that. Next one though. Are we in a simulation? Like, have you really thought about it? Like, are we in a simulation? I originally wasn't going to ask this because I know we're crunched on time. But I think at points in times you have to question, or at least if you're open minded enough to really take this stance and not really really believe in it too hard. Yeah, I think with a lot of our, it seems like it's quite possible. If it's not God, maybe God is a programmer. Like, have you guys ever thought about that? Like, I feel like it's very interesting that some of our things, even our molecular structure, they're programmable. Maybe we just haven't learned certain things yet that we just need to learn. We will continue to grow as a society, but will there ever be a peak of knowledge where we can never stop growing and adapting and evolving society? I feel like this is probably a better topic to pick up on next week, but I feel like I'd at least introduce the question to get our viewers and get our travelers thinking out there. But yeah, expect more when it pertains to simulation and simulation theory. I've got some great books that I'm going to recommend next week. And yeah, we'll really go into it. We'll really go into it for sure. Bring up the sciences and such. It's a little bit, being that we are on crunch time, it'd be a little bit hectic to kind of explain some of the scientific terminology and at least with my level of expertise or current level of expertise and our level of data that we currently have to kind of represent that within conversation. Yeah, I feel like it's maybe a great opportunity to dive into our gaming news now, though. Which, if you didn't know, Sonic and Shadow Generations releases in the fall of 2024. This is crazy, guys. Sonic and Shadow.
That's kind of cool. I guess for that one, I guess they would want to release that one around that time because I think Sonic 3 comes out in the summer of this year. And that one has Shadow, I believe, as a main antagonist in the movie. So that's pretty much like a perfect release to drop a Sonic versus Shadow game to just kind of keep that kind of train going right after the movie drops. And I think for this one, it pays a lot of homage to like some of the old games from what I hear. Like there's going to be stages from like old Sonic Adventure games. I used to have some of the Sonic Adventure games on like a Sega Dreamcast, which is like really old system that that didn't last too long. They didn't release too many games for it. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't know. That's a Sonic, and not too crazy, not like unbelievable. I'm glad it's coming out. How the gameplay will actually be, I don't think there's any official gameplay yet. There's only a trailer, which I believe we showed this in our previous podcast. But yeah, as soon as we get some gameplay footage, we're on top of that. I gotta react to
it. I would just guess that it plays like there's a game called Sonic Generations, and in Sonic Generations, it pretty much plays like a mix of modern Sonic games, but then there are certain levels where it plays like the old Sonic games, where like it's like a 2D side scroller kind of thing, just with modern graphics, which is why it has the Generations title. So I'm thinking with Sonic versus Shadow Generation, it's going to be like a similar thing where it's just there are levels that are 3D, but then there are modern remakes of like old levels from like the Sega Genesis games, and it'll have a 2D side scrolling kind of aspect to it, but they're adding shadow to it. So we'll probably see like levels from Shadow was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2. So we'll probably see like 2D remakes of like some of his 3D levels on that game, which is that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually know exactly what you're talking about. I have the game, and
okay, cool.
I hope, if anything, I hope it plays very similar to that. I don't like the whole world roaming thing as much. It's okay. Maybe they could tweak it just a little bit so it's more
streamlined for sure.
Yeah, like informative, and it's more direct, and it's less like you could go anywhere and everywhere. It's for sure. It's a little bit too much, I think.
No, I'm with you on that. Like I when I play Sonic games, like I just want to like get into it. Like I'm not into the Sonic games for the whole world roaming thing. And that was introduced a little bit later in like some of the newer games. And there are people, who enjoy that part of it, but I just want to get into the level and play it. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, I swear I almost, the purpose of roaming for me, like the sole purpose of roaming, is so that I can play the actual like runs,
Exactly.
And that
exactly
it shouldn't feel that way at all. Maybe they could mix in some like skating, like with like I know Shadow's the one with skates though, right? So
yeah, you're right.
But I think there was like a snowboarding Sonic game.
Oh yeah. There was a oh no. It was a hoverboarding Sonic game. But there was a either you're talking about Sonic Rivals, which was like a Sonic game where they were racing on hoverboards.
That's the one.
Or you're thinking of okay, then that's the one then.
So maybe they could mix in a little bit of that gameplay along with the actual runs, and maybe split that like 3 ways with a little bit of roaming. I just feel like the roaming is a little bit too much, but yeah. Sonic, man, Sonic and Shadow Generations, fall 2024. This year, this is crazy,
right?
Crazy good.
For our last announcement, Demon Slayer, for fans of the Demon Slayer series, they recently got a game that came out 2 days ago on Nintendo Switch. It's called Demon Slayer Sweep the Board. It's pretty much like it's pretty much just Mario Party but Demon Slayer, for the most part. That's the easiest way I can describe it. So pretty interesting. But it's on Nintendo Switch if you want to check it out.
Yeah, let's check it out. Why not? Because I definitely got my Switch on me. So let's see.
Yeah, it's just pretty much just Demon Slayer Mario Party.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, it's not what I expected at all. But I love this so much for the Demon Slayer franchise because it fits. I feel like it fits, and maybe not everyone will agree with me, but I feel like its aesthetic definitely fits. As like a small mobile Switch type game, where you can actually, like, kids can actually enjoy it, right? And not have to really think too hard on the controls. Yeah, for sure. I feel like, yes, Demon Slayer, that it fits Demon Slayer, just like trying to get into the anime. Like, pretty much the animation and the art really, adds to Demon Slayer, like the storyline. So yeah, um them kind of working this into more of like a team um direction, to where you have to accomplish, you don't have to accomplish like certain missions, but you just basically enjoy playing the game, just like you enjoy watching the anime. Like, you watch it. I'm trying to make it not as simplistic. Uh just like the anime, like, you enjoy the animation quality, right? Like, you enjoy the interactions with the characters. And I feel like this game is something that's going to really provide volume into like each character, um and their individual character, like, how each individual character kind of presents or interacts with one another. Like, I feel like that's something that could be introduced to a younger crowd for sure in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you with that because I remember when I seen it's like months ago when I seen that original trailer that you just played for that game, and like a lot of people were really upset that it was like a like a small kind of game to be like on a like on a mobile device, like Nintendo Switch or or like on your phone or your tablet or something. And that it's a board game essentially. But I had the same thoughts as you with that one. I'm like, it's obviously like for like a younger demographic that just wants to that likes the Demon Slayer series or wants to get into the Demon Slayer series, but just wants something that's just enjoyable to play without like too much stress kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Just something relaxing to play. Because I remember like a real life example, just like for me, like I have a Demon Slayer fighting game
Mm,
that plays kind of like the Naruto Storm games because it's made by the same developers for the
okay.
most part. And my little cousins, they're like 6 and 8 years old, and they like Demon Slayer and they wanted to play the game, but when they were playing the game, like they had like no idea of what to do with it. They were just running around in circles with the characters, and then like whenever one of the characters would like do a special move and beat up on the other person, like they'd get really upset about it. It was like really stressful for them. So I was
Yeah,
like, this immediately made me think about what you were saying. We're like, this is something a little bit more, relaxing, different pace, different demographic type of thing. So I see what they're going for with it.
absolutely. As a shonen, this is a genius move on their part, just because it aims for 18 and below. It's a genius move. It's a great move. Nice job on their part. Um, yeah, that pretty much concludes this episode of the Sync Zone podcast. I know it was a fast one for you guys, and with the power of editing, it'll be even faster. So, my apologies on that firsthand. I will take blame for that one specifically. I was not prepared, and hopefully next week we can do a better, more exciting podcast for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was enjoyable for me. Um, and hopefully it was enjoyable to you travelers out there. How'd you feel about it, Breezy?
Yeah, no, I liked. I thought it was a pretty good podcast. I think we had some interesting discussions, especially in the beginning, pertaining to like some upcoming things with superhero related topics. So and it was a good change of pace from some of our earlier topics. So I hope the viewers enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, next week we're going to have for sure. But
For sure.
there's so much that we didn't talk about, but I doubt anyone else is going to cover it. And right. So make sure you guys leave a like, comment below, and yeah, we'll see you next time, travelers.
Alrighty.